Hey, my beautiful community. So I want to encourage younger sisters in the world to not make the mistake I did and do not go down the feminist lie. Let me tell you who I am. I am Dr. Sandra Marston, a postdoc fellowship trained physical therapist. I lived the feminist lie and I regret it. And let me tell you why I regret it. Or let's backtrack even. Was there a time where it was beneficial? Absolutely. There was a time where women couldn't vote. We needed the vote. There was a time where women couldn't order a bottle of wine without having a husband or a man present there. Obviously, that needed to go away. There was a time where women weren't getting jobs and they weren't making money. That needed to change. But by the time I was in college in my undergrad, which was over 30 years ago, I'm a Gen X person, all of those restrictions were gone, but yet I was fighting for something because I believed this lie that some big thing was oppressing women. Well, if you're paying attention, you know that there's nothing holding women back now. Women can be in the military, women can own houses and get loans on their own, women are doctors, lawyers, selling OC and all that other stuff, New York and all that, realtors, high-powered. There's nothing really keeping women from being who they want to be. That is just a lie. And the other lie, or what that did to women, women could do it all, have it all, be it all. You know what happened with that? Yeah, women could do great things, but they ended up very tired, bitter, and lonely. And then you find yourself saying things like, oh, all the good ones are married or gay when it comes to guys, when it's like the reality is, well, we kind of usurped everything, and you know what? They let us. So they have a role in that, but we do too. So I apologize to the men out there. There's churches filled with good women who need good, godly men, not religious men, godly men. And that's another talk. I'll do another talk on that. But let's look at the other part of the lie, that having children is like not the thing for women. You know what? Every woman I know will say that the best thing they ever did was have children. And then you look at their Facebook pages and year after year, they're posting happy, growing kids that they are just so grateful to be a part of and to have. And then the ones who see, I marched pro-choice in '93, and I regret that too. And I'll tell you why. My right, my body. There's so much lies behind that. Like if you get pregnant and you decide to have an abortion, that you're somehow choosing your life. You know what? That happens because we don't understand God. And let me tell you, before you were stitched in your mother's womb, God knew you. He chose you. He planted you there. To think that there's not anything sacred about it, that's what we're missing. That's what I was missing. And you know what happened? I didn't get to have kids. Biggest mistake of my life. Like, you think it's going to happen. You think if you go a certain route, you're going to have life on your terms. And that's not what life is. Life is not having life on your terms. Life is twists and turns and ups and downs. And it's like, and you don't know what's going to happen all the time. And you want to figure it out. And you think if you do all the right things, it's going to work out for you. But it doesn't always. And so that child, if you get pregnant, might be the only child you have. And then the women that I do know that had abortions, they lived with it on their soul their whole lives. And then they try to make up for kids that they might get to have if they're blessed enough to have them. And then they don't know that by the time you get to your 30s and mid-30s, you're considered a geriatric pregnancy, and it's harder. So if you're blessed enough to get pregnant, don't throw that away. It might be the only chance you get. And you need to know that. And you need to know that you can't make up for that in the next child, because that next child's going to have its own destiny. And you bringing your pain forward, that child's going to suffer for that too. So, and if you think I'm wrong about all that, all you have to do is look at your friends or your mother's friends on Facebook, and they're posting the joy. The joy is their families, their husbands that they love. And you know what? 50% of marriages are happy. They're just not screaming it, because happy doesn't require a scream. And there are good men out there, and I apologize to the men who were usurped by the feminist movement. I now know better. And I'm sharing this because I want you, the younger women of the world, to not make the same mistake I made. You want to have a career, but just don't think that's going to be the thing for you, because money comes and goes, fame comes and goes. Nobody on their tombstone said, "Oh, I did this big acquisition, or this big house I sold, or this big, bill passed, or this, I helped so many patients," that they have moved on and forgotten about. That's not going to be your legacy. Your legacy is going to be what moves on past you. And you know what? You're the only one who can have kids. Men can't have kids. If you don't think that's a sacred thing, that's huge. And take it from somebody who didn't get to have kids, the biggest longing, biggest missing of my life. Barren is not something to worship. Mom has always been a sacred thing. And God gave us the same adjective as His Holy Spirit. Helper is not a demeaning thing. It is a blessed thing to have the same adjective as the Holy Spirit. You deserve better, and you deserve to have a legacy. You deserve to, you never know if you get an abortion. I mean, what if Martin Luther King's mother decided to have an abortion? We wouldn't have his legacy, or Rosa Parks. That is a big deal. Only you can do it. Have the things that really matter. Nice clothes, home, those are good things to have, but those aren't things that fill your soul. That's why once you have it, you want something else. The dopamine response. Choose the things that are lasting in here. God bless. Don't make the mistakes I made. Feminist movement is a lie in today's world. Love you.